Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me in the studio, it's said he once did a wheelie on a unicycle. He's my co-host, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, and if you believe that, you believe it's true. I did it once and once only.
I seen him do it. It was amazing.
Yeah,
well, welcome back. Welcome back, new listeners and repeat offenders.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us for another spellbinding episode of the podcast.
As always.
This week we're going to be talking alien conspiracies, alien cover-ups.
Yes. Kind of projects.
Project Moondust.
Yeah.
And the adjacent Project Blue Fly.
Yes.
Not to be mistaken with Spanish Fly, that's something else.
Or horsefly.
This is a government slash US Air Force project.
It is,
focus was on almost sort of getting...
the sort of behind the covers of Blue Brook.
Crashed UFOs, crashed sort of satellites, anything that fell out of the sky, they'd basically go and try and receive it. Yeah. This was during the Cold War, it all started up, which kind of led people to believe, obviously, and the reason what they said to cover it up was that it was all kind of Soviet technology that they were trying to obtain. Was there something more to it?
Yes, we will get down to it and see what proof we have.
Let's get down to business. Very exciting times.
Very.
That's coming up all in the show, as well as NASA news and some other bits and pieces we'll throw in there as well.
You know the cookie.
So, before we get into all that, anything cheered you up? Anything you've seen this week, or anything that's... what have you been up to this week, Taylor?
I've just been looking into... I had a little look into Nostradamus. I've been looking a bit more into the Anunnaki as well, and how certain things have... collaborated together and stuff, like we were talking before about Adam and Eve. Well, there was supposedly Eve was the offstruck of being made, and there was actually another woman who was made for him, and he went, "Nah, I don't like it. I want this one instead." Apparently,
You know what I mean? Back in them days, there was nobody about. It's like beggars can't be choosers, can you, Adam?
Yeah,
but it's funny because wasn't Eve made from one of Adam's ribs?
Yes, I believe so.
Or something like that.
But he's got 12, so he might have 12, like Eve's.
Oh, he could.
Yes.
Nah.
But then have no ribs, and they'd be fucked then.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he'd be just walking around.
It'd be like a
structure.
sack of... Yeah, or your bits hanging down on your stomach.
Well, that's weird. What you talking?
Yeah.
So that's a bit kind of interesting, I suppose.
Yeah,
what have you been looking into?
Yourself, have you been looking into it?
I have, and I haven't really. What was it? I did see something that I thought was quite interesting about. It was basically, do you know Major Tom? The guy who was not Major Tom, as in the guy who was doing the...
Got the song written about him.
The fundraising.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that Major Tom? It was he was an astronaut who's been up on the ISS.
Yes,
and he did a cover of Ground Control to Major Tom.
He did indeed.
And he filmed it all on the ISS, and he got a bit of publicity. Well, he appeared on the news, basically talking about a fiction book he's wrote, right?
All right.
And I was like, really, this sounds quite interesting, because the way he kind of put it across was that it was a bit gonzo, in the sense that, it's the blurred lines between fact and fiction. So it's sci-fi, but there's a lot of real NASA history involved in the story, right?
Sounds like a cover-up for me.
Well, that's what I thought, right? So I'm listening to what he was saying. And he said that, you'll find it really difficult to work out what's fact and what's fiction, right? And one thing he did say was he talks about a secret Russian space station, right?
Yeah.
And he said, that bit's true. And I was like, well, actually, that sounds really interesting. So I've been trying to find out a bit more about that this week.
Yeah, have you had any luck?
Little bits.
Right,
might do an episode on it a bit later on in the year.
We will look into it.
Or next year. Who knows? See what happens. But it is quite interesting.
Yeah.
So there was that. And then, just been catching up on telly, really.
Yeah,
so,
seen anything?
So I finally saw Shang-Chi.
Oh, right. I still can't see that.
Which was not what I expected, but in a good way, because I'd kind of tried to avoid the last couple of Marvel movies. I mean, Spider-Man trailer just dropped, which was really cool because it kind of confirms a lot of kind of speculation, the worst kept secret in Hollywood, as people are calling it. The multiverse Spider-Man.
Been waiting on it.
You know, so I've been trying to avoid as much of the Marvel sort of press as possible.
Yeah.
So because I kind of don't know, it kind of does not ruins it for you, but knowing what's going to happen before you go in, you have higher expectations. I want to go in. So with the Ghostbusters one that's just coming out now, I've just come out.
Oh yeah, I saw that last night.
I've heard some good reviews, but I'm trying to avoid seeing any new trailers or anything, because let's face it, we had a trailer, but with the COVID thing, we were kind of we had that for ages.
So we were hoping a bit more.
So there was like a little bit came out, and I tried to just kind of avoid it. So I'm looking forward to it. But going into Shang-Chi, I kind of thought to myself that it was going to be one of these Mortal Kombat sort of like arena-based films. Yeah, and it wasn't like that at all. Right, okay. It was a lot better than than
we previously think.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It had elements of that, but it wasn't all that.
Would you call it a Marvel film?
Yeah, in the sense that it's got the comedy.
It's
a family kung fu movie with a bit of comedy. It's got comic relief, but it also lends more to the magical sense of Marvel.
Doctor Strange kind of area.
I mean, it goes into, but it also has ties to Iron Man, because obviously with Iron Man being big threat was the Mandarin. Yeah. Then the fact that there was a or the 10 rings were involved in the creation of Iron Man. But then in Iron Man 2, you had Trevor Slattery, who was the Liverpudlian actor, who played the Mandarin, and I won't say anymore, but he does make a comeback.
So there is connections.
Trevor does make a comeback, but he was so
awesome.
That's
good.
So
did you even get that little last bit at the end of Marvel films? When all the credits.
The post-credit scene.
Yeah.
We did. There was a post-credit.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sweet, and it's an original.
I mean, it's looking good for Marvel anyway. But I enjoyed it.
It has, hasn't it? Really?
So that's pretty much what I've been up to this week. I did see. We talked about Johnny Rotten last week. About how he was doing something for his mum on the Masked Singer. Yeah. Well, he come up in the news again randomly this week, and I thought, wow, that's because Johnny Rotten, obviously a very outspoken individual. Apparently called the Jimmy Savile thing in the 80s. Yeah, did an interview about it, and the BBC covered it up.
Oh, BBC again, eh? Yeah.
So again, it just makes me wonder. It's like there's people in the BBC at that time who knew exactly what was going on. Yeah. And should they be held accountable also?
Yeah. So 100%. Definitely. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. But do you think anyone's going to be counted for it? I don't think so. They're probably either dead or too rich to even catch.
Too rich to prosecute.
Yeah.
If you like listening to us, you can catch us on Red Wall Radio on Thursday, 9 o'clock. We're available on live on there. Well, not live.
Wow. Yeah,
we're there.
A preview.
We're there, aren't we?
We're always there.
9 o'clock on a Thursday.
We love it there.
Get your asses over to Red Wall Radio. Get your asses over there anyway, because they do play some quality tunes.
They do.
And they have some great, radio personalities like ourselves there too.
That's right.
So, yeah. There's a bit of a plug. Another little bit of a plug before we go into the main topic we're plugging Audible.
Yes.
Audible.
We are.
Yeah, so Audible, get your free trial. Yeah. It's a great way for new customers to try audiobooks and make the most of every moment. Yeah. So you've been listening to The Art of War.
Yes, I am.
On Audible. On Audible audiobook.
Yes, I am.
And how do you find it?
Yeah.
How do you find, the delivery of listening to an audiobook? I mean, especially because it's not exactly like they're telling you a story, is it? In that it's more of an instructional thing in a lot of ways.
I've heard it a number of times, but I wanted to listen to it again to see some points in it. But yeah, I found
But what I find is when you're listening to an audio book, it almost you retain it a bit better.
Yeah, totally. Instead of reading it, because if you think about it, you're doing more work. You're using your eyes. You're using your brain.
It's been so many times when I'm reading a book and I have to go over the same paragraph
over and over
that
again,
I've just read because my brain's not sunk in. Whereas I never get that with an audio book. You usually get some really cool personalities like Stephen Fry, or other people reading out the audio. So it makes it a bit better. Well, with this free trial, you can get one free audio book of your choice.
Yes.
It's yours to keep. You can cancel any time. Prime customers will receive 2 audiobooks on their free trial.
Banging.
And you're eligible to choose from the world's largest selection of audiobooks, including bestsellers, new releases, sci-fi, romances, mysteries, classics, and more.
So whatever your needs are, they will be there.
Yep. After 30 days, you'll receive another free book. Well, another book every month for just $7.99. Renewals are automatic. Download and listen to the world's best-selling stories. Enjoy Audible original series plus podcasts and more.
Yeah, there's a lot there
on the free app.
Lots to have a look at.
It's really cool. In fact, we've been posting some links to some books as well.
We have.
Do you know if it's relevant to the story? So get over there and sign up.
Yeah. It's like definitely worth it.
What I say is what I've done, and I mean they probably tell me off for this, but they offer you a free trial. Yeah. You get your free trial, get your book, and if you've got an Alexa, right? Yeah. You can go on Alexa and call up your audiobook library, right?
Ah, right.
So,
okay.
And it'll tell you what audiobooks you've got, and you can go to chapter, all the rest of it. So it makes it even easier, right? And like I say, they give you a free trial every now and again. You just kind of get the trial, claim your book, and then cancel. Yeah. And then a couple of months later, they're going to offer you another trial.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
which
then
means another free book. I think I've got a nice little library.
You've got a nice little collection going,
because of free trials with Audible. So,
it's not your fault if they're giving out free stuff.
Not worth doing. Yeah. So there you go.
Take it while you
get a loophole in the system.
Yeah, because as soon as they learn about loopholes, bang, they like to cover it up. They don't want to lose money, do they?
Exactly.
So this is the best way to
strike while the iron's hot.
Yes,
anyway,
definitely.
This week, we're going to be talking about Project Moondust.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know, it's when kids eat popping candy and drink soda.
The
moon rocks. That's what they were, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, when we were kids, you'd get moon rocks, and the myth was that if you drink Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever, you'd explode.
Yeah. Oh, did you see many exploding kiddies?
Never seen any. I've never seen
not a single one. Maybe the mouth going
a kid explode. Never seen documentary footage of a kid exploding from moon candy.
I think there's no
I'm only joking with that one, obviously. It just made me laugh. But obviously, with what's going on in the world today at the moment with Russia, and we'll talk about this a bit more in the news, but Russia doing a rocket test recently that blew up one of their own satellites, endangering people. Their own people.
Yeah, included. Yeah.
This topic is, again, quite appropriate. We do kind of happen to do this quite a lot.
Yeah.
Project Moondust was a covert project by the United States Air Force during the Cold War that existed at the Air Force Missile Defense Center at Holloman Air Force Base. The aim was to basically recover objects and debris from spacecraft that had basically survived re-entry back into the atmosphere of Earth. They basically want to try and collect it. How they kind of put the reason for the project was to gather Soviet hardware if it had fell into American hands.
So they can use the technology against their own forces. And if no one knows when the Cold War started or finished, it started in 1946 and finished in 1991.
Well, over the years, ufologists have given a great deal of attention to the military program Project Moondust. Because of its origins back in the 1950s, and the reasons why so much attention has been placed on the project is because of the potential connection with UFOs. There's a lot of reason to believe that it wasn't just, Soviet debris or satellites or anything, that fell out of the sky through our atmosphere.
Sounds like there was a lot more stuff.
There was a lot more going on.
Kit.
I mean, how often do you think that would happen if, some Soviet satellite or debris from, a Russian project was to happen on a yearly basis back in the 1950s? Not very often.
Not as often as it would now.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I would say hardly ever. It wouldn't be enough to warrant creating a whole division of your military to tackle it.
Yeah, and specialised people like this.
The thing, to get kind of like one of these sort of like operations running, you need all this clearance. You need evidence to suggest why you need it in the first place.
Yeah, you need reason.
Yeah. And just to say, oh, well, occasionally a Russian satellite might fall on us and we need to intercept it, is a bit kind of hard to believe.
Yeah, but then you've got to consider as well all the little bits of information that come together make the big pot, more plausible on what they are actually doing.
Well, could it all be just Cold War propaganda, or were they looking for something and recovering otherworldly ships, crashed ships from another planet potentially?
Oh, if you think about it in this way, this is the way it sort of worked on like the projects to do with this kind of stuff. Like we had 1947, obviously, Roswell crash.
Yeah, everyone knows the Roswell one. So, you've got Roswell, that happens, and that sparks up an interest within the military, I suppose.
Well, yeah, and don't forget the first thing that they published was there's a UFO. And then very next day it was closed off, and then everyone was, threatened, told,
straight
not
away.
To say anything.
I mean, like wildfire, that's gonna even spread from like Roswell out to, surrounding areas.
Yeah.
And if there was anyone who did witness it firsthand, and are they down the bars going, fucking what my husband saw, or what, what I saw that day.
It was hot. It was a hot topic as well, because it wasn't just Roswell incident that happened there. There was one in Los Alamos. There was another one up the north end as well. There was quite a few going on at the time, and it's only like in the last, I'd say about the 10, 15 years that we've been finding about these extra ones that have been happening behind the lines that we haven't been told about, and we've actually found out.
There's one next week's topic we'll be going into is quite a big in dealing with that sort of thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Clifford Stone. There's a lot of information that's come from him.
Right.
So we had Roswell, and then in 1947 as well we had Project Sign, which was to try and basically stop the generals and the upper class, because they were actually considering at that time that it's aliens. It's aliens that do this. We can't do this. The Russians ain't got the capability.
Wait a minute.
The Germans
we've talked about this. I mean, in terms of the timeline, Roosevelt. Was it Roosevelt? Yeah.
No, it was Truman. Truman, yeah.
Was it?
Was it Truman?
Well, in Valiant 4, who was the president that he went, who we met with?
Oh, that was Eisenhower.
Eisenhower, right? Yeah. So Eisenhower has already, if all this is to be believed, then Eisenhower's already established that communication, that knowledge of knowing that there's aliens.
Well, yeah, because he's done Majestic, right. He's done CIA, he's done National Security.
Right. So he's apparently met aliens, right?
Yeah.
Had meetings with them. He's got military information from them.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, having eyes in the sky and looking for this type of stuff, this is exactly what a government in that situation would do. They would go, right, well, in that case, if we're being visited from other planets, then we need to be able to intercept anything that comes in that is in trouble, that basically is crashed, that's fucking, like, if we can get our hands on more of this technology, or technology that they won't let us have, potentially.
Well,
do you know what I mean? Because they might let us have some, but not all of their wisdom and technologies.
That's true, but you've got to consider as well stuff like meteorites. There's stuff in meteorites like diamonds, gold, or platinum, or
to set up a wing of the defense or an air force or anything like this. That sole mission is to collect debris from out of Earth atmosphere or anything that comes through the atmosphere.
Yeah, and not in your own country either, in the whole world.
Yeah, because I've got a story actually here. I mean, we'll go back into the
list in
a minute.
Yeah.
But this is a story just relating to that, which happened in 1960, and it was a TWX report that was sent to the Pacific Air Force based on a sighting of an unidentified object.
Yeah.
Right. It entered the water. Yeah. So it's obviously a craft that was able to be a submersible.
Yeah.
Right. It entered the water near the village of Chatu. Yeah,
right.
Which is spelled Ctaru,
right.
Which I probably not pronounced right. The report was originated in Japan, right, with ground self-defense forces, and then was relayed back to the US by the Japanese Air Force or self-defense, the JASDF.
Right.
So according to reports, it was a fiery object. It fell from the sky into the sea.
Right.
So it must have been in trouble going into that one. So we're talking about it maybe being a USO.
Yes.
That's probably not the case. It's probably just plummeted into the sea.
Yeah, without no indication of, it's damage.
Tokyo said they took over the case.
Okay.
Right. But they were never able to locate or reclaim the object.
Right, so then it could have been a USO that it was actually crashing down to the planet and then I'm getting off.
Was it a case that the US got there before them?
That is a big bit. Out of all of them, the plausible side then too.
Right, if you've just set up a defense wing, I say, and your goal is to gather this sort of stuff, and that's anywhere in the world,
yes.
right, and then Tokyo turn around and go, "We'll take this one." You're going to go, nah, you're not.
No,
you're not. No. We're going to get that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not surprised that they were unable to locate it, to be fair. So.
Well, it's sort of like there was another one in Australia. In fact, there was some wording in it that was very interesting because in Australia in the 60s, there was a plane that was abducted. The whole plane itself.
It was just poof.
Yeah, it got tucked into,
Well, wait a minute. I mean, there's been flights not that long ago that have just disappeared.
Yeah.
So, how do we know that this same thing hasn't happened there?
Well, yeah, if it's happened once, it could happen again, you know what I mean?
I know Bermuda Triangle type things, they say, but, I mean...
Yeah,
for a whole plane to disappear with no evidence of it whatsoever...
Yeah.
Is odd, don't you think?
Yeah, and I reckon conspiracy with someone dropping, little bits here to go, oh, well, this is crashed.
Well, they did that in Lost, didn't they? In Lost, they sank the whole. Basically, one of the characters who was very money, he had a lot of money behind him, a lot of backing. Whitmore,
right.
Charles Whitmore, he covered the whole plane crash up with them landing on this island, but with a fake plane. So he basically put a plane in the ocean, and said, "We found it." Yeah.
Right.
And then when they said they found it, it was like a whole nother, plane, but with the different with the markings on it.
Oh, right.
But when they went in there was bodies. So they were like,
"Ooh,
where are these bodies from?" Do you know what I mean? Like, there was this whole conspiracy about where did you get the bodies to put back on the plane?
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Where are you going to get the bodies? Probably from a morgue because it's already been processed through.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but that's I mean, it's like the way I see it is if a writer in a writer's room can think it up, then chances are it could happen. It could happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, this is it. Well, the interesting comment that the Australian said in it, in this report, was that the Americans have the responsibility to handle this, and they have to handle it now. So why is one nation or one project responsible for the rest of the world instead of just their own nation. That's a bit...
yeah, totally. I mean, but why have they got to go and ask permission to kind of... this is the thing, it's almost like every other country's got to go back to America and go, are we allowed to talk about the aliens yet? It's like, if you've got something to say about it as a world leader, just fucking come out and say it, blow the whistle. You know,
but
I know, but if like Canada turned around tomorrow and said, look, there is aliens, they've been lying to you all this time, guarantee 100%.
Well, the defence minister did say that.
Well, yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying, that like there needs to be more of that.
Yeah,
it's like
totally.
There's no reason why we all have to go to one, why we're waiting for America to give us disclosure. It's like, for some reason that seems to be the case, but no other country will stop threatening.
I totally agree.
A threat is as good as as saying that it's true. Well, no, it is, because you're saying, if you don't play along, I'm going to tell everybody the truth about aliens. That says there's something to do with aliens. Something's happening with aliens. Tell us what it is.
You know
what I mean?
Totally.
So you can't keep like.
Oh, I know, because when he did the threats, it was like, right, I hope you do say it. I hope you do say it, and nothing really happened.
Well, a threat's as good as coming out with it, really, isn't it? So,
and there's been a few other leaders who nearly said something, but they just haven't, because the consequences of it, if you think about it, the consequences of it is going to be massive, absolutely massive.
Just come out with it. Boys.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Just
stop telling lies. Tell us the truth. Let us get on with it. And we're here as a whole family.
Hey,
we're not here as
that's
just
a good
one.
way of just chilling us out a bit, because you could just turn around and go, look, aliens real. There's one.
Yeah,
and everyone will go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
right now, settle down. Right, let's get on with it. Right.
But they
said
said we won't be playing with you unless you sort out all this shit.
Yeah,
first.
They get. There's too much toxic waste in the atmosphere.
There's too much saltiness.
Saltiness, yeah.
It's way too much saltiness going on. Can we sort that, please?
Oh, yeah. But like Project Blue Book started in 1952, and finished in 1969. But that was there is the fake part of it, which a year later, that's where Project Moondust come in, and is still going on to this day. It's just called under a different name.
So, I mean, Project Moondust, it kind of got its start like the 1960s, didn't it, really? I mean, it was, even though it was going, the premise behind it was always, it's Soviet, we're trying to Russian satellites, that sort of thing. But like I said, there's not enough of that to warrant having this wing. So... And then when you start seeing the reports that were coming out, like around that time, around the, say, like late 1960,
well, yeah,
it was. You can see why people started getting that idea that this was a bit more than just what they were saying it was.
Well, if you think the next one on the list is 1949, which was Project Grudge, which was to debunk UFOs, which obviously that didn't work. So then 1952 was Project Blue Book, because it went public, and he tried to debunk it through the public. And then the year after, because I think it was because the White House was buzzed with UFOs, there was like one a week, and then it built up, and like there are videos and pictures of UFOs hanging over the White House. So I think after that, they brought in Project Moondust in 1953, but just to recover aircraft and space debris. Now, it all changed. The project of that name all changed in 1961 because they extended that so they could recover UFOs as well. Because if you think about it, a meteorite or a bit of debris that you don't even know about it's unidentified until you actually take it away, look at it, examine it, and find out what it's from.
Yeah.
It's still unidentified.
Well, obviously by the 60s, Moondust was receiving quite a lot of interesting reports.
Yeah.
It was kind of, some of them were really quite interesting. I've got a couple here. So you had the Green Pea, right, which was September 14th, 1960, where a pilot flying an F-86D between an overcast above and below him when a greenish white object appeared from the overcast above him. Yeah. So I'm assuming that's the cloud cover.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the object fell straight down and then disappeared in the clouds below.
Right.
Yeah. The object was then disappeared and looked like and then reappeared, and he said it looked like a green pea. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So preliminary investigations could not identify any balloons or any other unknown objects that could basically be a green pea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no one's been able to explain the sighting since they've based, that was one of the reports that was in the files.
The files, yeah.
Another one, the bubble, right?
Oh, yeah.
Was the 11th of October 1960.
Yeah.
And this, because these are all kind of round about the same time. This is kind of when the shift between sort of the idea that this is more than just looking for Soviet wreckage.
Yeah.
You know, there was more and more UFO sort of
falling, more obstacles that they were had
more
to go
sightings.
And pick up.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the thing when we look at this CIA document that came out recently about, you know, declassification, and they're looking at a certain number of videos. US Air Force staff personnel have been reporting this stuff for years.
Yeah.
But they've never ever been able to tell anyone, or they're not allowed to tell anyone.
By threatening by violence.
So this pilot who witnessed a phenomenon on the horizon, he said he witnessed an orange flash, and then he described it as being like a giant bubble.
All right.
Yeah. He said the phenomenon could be observed and was along the the southern coast of the Soviet Kuril Islands or Kuril Islands.
Ah.
So maybe that was a missile test or a nuke test.
Yeah, well, yeah, it could be.
An orange blast like a bubble. Could he have been seeing a mushroom cloud?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of testing going on in the 1960s.
Yeah, that's actually a good call. Not even that; it could have been the wave, the line.
Yeah, the shock wave. Well, that's what he could have observed as a bubble.
Yeah.
I mean, he might not have seen anything like that before, because obviously being a pilot rather than being in weapons testing and development.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot of people would have seen a nuke.
Well, these
blast.
are new technologies, aren't they, of the age?
Let's face it, if he was like literally airborne however many thousand feet, from his point of view on the horizon, I think that's a good shout with the shockwave or the shock blast.
Yeah.
Do you know, with the bubble sort of how it was
described? Yeah, because you've got the smoke within it and then the shockwave on moving the clouds and.
But then
stuff.
again, is it in the file because debris from that missile test or that nuke would have been considered technology that they'd want to get their hands on?
Well, yeah. Well, every country
points of interest being a orange flash on the horizon and stuff. It makes me think that was exactly what it was. It was a nuke test.
Yeah.
But is it in the files for moon dust? Because if they are trying to get their hands on this sort of technology, and you know, want to see if they've got any advancements on their nuclear weaponry that they haven't got, you know, would that fall under the same sort of banner? Like as part of parcel, you know, it's not just outer space stuff. We just want any Russian technology or any technology that isn't our own.
Well, that was it. That everyone was after the technology. It was the race, wasn't it? It was a race to conquer each country in the race to conquer space.
Yeah. Well, these occurrences around this time period were all happening around about the same time. So this is that was the 11th of October 1960, but on the 18th of October 1960, a pilot of a 4th Fighter Interceptor Squadron had reported seeing an object as large as a saucer, about 80 inches in diameter. I think that's right.
Yeah.
The object was white and had a white tail.
Right.
About 16 to 20 times as long as the object, and appeared to do 30 degrees above and 20 degrees to the right of the aircraft as it passed by along the right side, and then disappeared towards the rear of the aircraft and then went down in a downward arc.
Oh.
Said that it was like, maneuverability and stuff that they'd never seen before. So,
you couldn't even do that today.
A lot of kind of officials, pilots, seeing things that have obviously been put into the moon dust reports.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, reports get declassified.
They do.
And there was a bunch of moon dust documents that were declassified by the CIA.
Yes.
A copy of which is the moon dust files titled Fragment Metals Recovered in the Republic of the Congo.
Yes.
Origins believed to be unidentified flying objects.
Because there's been there's another one in there where it says it finds two shiny objects in 1976 and pass it on, and it was shipped to a Dr. Ledger, who dealt in technology for the future and that.
Oh, right, okay. So a bit kind of like what, Thingy was doing Grey, in terms of, if at the end of the day, if you give a scientist someone else's technology, what would, if you were that scientist and I've come to you with a UFO, or some technology that you've never seen before, you're the engineer and you've never seen it before, what's the first thing you do?
Back engineering.
Exactly. You want to understand it. You want to know what bit does, why that bit does that, and
exactly.
what's that connected to.
That's right.
You want to understand it, and you'll reverse engineer it.
Yeah, so you can actually add on as well to where this actually part goes and does.
Right. So,
suited.
I think that is a logical thing to do. So, the fragment that was recovered was from basically Republic of Congo. The fragment recovery was the result of a ground level search, and after the unidentified flying object exploded, it had fell to earth in that area. So the sighting and the recovery took place sometime between 10th and 15th of October 1965. Other than the reported east to west direction of the flight, the UFO specifically was only observed, in the air. No one seen where it had crashed. So obviously the details were a bit
hazy,
and
so a bigger area
it was
to look.
hard to recover.
Yeah, of course.
But I think they managed to find it.
Well, yeah, no doubt, and they've more than likely profited on it as well. But there's a lot of I got one from like the Ivory Coast, 1973, where there was information coming from the USG, which is the United States government, willing to come to their country, pick the item up, analyze it, write a report out, and then give the information to the Ivory Coast. So shipments were moved out and moved to America, according to these declassified emails. And after a while, the Ivory Coast actually asked, can we have the materials back, and can we have the results of you analysing them? And the US said no. So why and that's in 73. Now why, since then, every other country has agreed with like Russia, China, other countries who actually want to get hold of this technology? Why is it down to America? Is America got something like a kind of hold?
This is what I was saying earlier about why they need to, nobody seems to be able to
say no,
to say that, give a real valid, yes or no, without going through the United States first. And I mean, have they got an agreement that they've got first dibs? you know, you see it in films where they take the piss and say, you know, like it was the president wanted to be the guy who welcomed the new visitors and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
You know,
he's a man of the free world.
Obviously, it's got to be they got to land on the White House lawn. It's like never at 10 Downing Street or anyway.
No.
Or like I was saying about him, kind of just bypassing humanity altogether and speaking to the fucking dolphins.
If we've got speakers down here, I'm sure they've got better technology.
What do you think of these humans?
Yeah.
Dicks.
Or telephoners each. They could the communication.
Skype me.
Yeah,
come
you
on the
could scan,
podcast.
you could put
If there's
on
any
TV.
aliens out there listening, you want to come on the podcast? We'd love to have you on.
Wasn't it 73 where there was actually someone who broadcast? I don't think it was worldwide, but I think it was in England, where they broadcast saying that there was an alien from a different planet and they wanted to do this and they were here for this, that and the other. There was a number of them. I think all in all there's been about 5 or 6 of them, but I think that one was the strongest one that come through, and like everyone basically got to see it if they was watching telly at that time.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I've got another report on moon dust. It was basically 1967. Yeah, there was a report coming out of Morocco. It was an article that basically said that there was a UFO might have crashed there.
Yeah.
It was basically another report followed it up, also from Morocco.
Yeah.
Also dated 1967. So whether it was the same report from 2 different people, who knows?
Oh yeah, cool.
But basically regards to an event over Agadir, which is Agadir. Again, pronunciation shite. This report forwards translation or translators of 2 articles which appear in the Poltit Moroccan, which is a newspaper. Each article is separately identified as the source.
Yeah.
Although the 2 articles are very consistent, with what's going.
So it sounds similar.
No, sorry. Consistent up to a point where they get contradictory.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
So it could be 2 different instances.
It could be 2 instances. Yeah. So the page, one of the pages, is regarding sightings and a high level of interest in the subject of UFOs.
Right.
So I don't know, but basically, again, it's linked to Project Moondust for some reason. But that's it. Yeah.
There was another thing that come up when I was researching this actually, and it's a very, very good point, especially with COP26 being and gone. Right? How can we all work together to pick up these UFOs and hide them away and play around and do the technologies? But we can't do stuff like world trade,
is
stop
that
slavery.
Because maybe that like some of this is more conspiracy and more letting our imaginations run wild than it is.
Yeah, but the thing is, the paperwork's behind it.
No, I know in some respects that it does, and I agree that there is some sort of cover up, but it's not a case of that they're working together. It's a case of national secrets and national secrets. Yeah. So if Russia have found an alien UFO and they've kept it in their own personal Area 51, the states are keeping theirs a secret. So why do you think we're going to tell you our secrets? And that goes to the same for everyone. It's not about keeping the secrets together. Let's form a pact. Let's like a fucking. And never break pact. It's a case of that they're just protecting their own secrets and their own country.
Funny you should say that, actually, because it's very interesting on quite a few of these reports where it actually asks the question, should we contact the committee or not? Now, from what I've seen on it, it looks like the committee is MJ12, Majestic.
Still?
Yeah. It'd be called under another name by now.
Professor X.
Well, no, actually, I copied down the list of him and the pictures of him before because I want to recheck something. Because after a year, supposedly, after Truman had put him into position, they were changed, and I think it was Hoover who changed him.
Hoover, he was a body remover.
Yeah, there was basically someone else has put their people in and took out the right people at that time. So it was already like a conspiracy on that straight away. Why have you these? Because it was like 5 doctors, like 1 mister, and 4 generals.
In it was like, do you know, because they're called the Majestic 12, right? You know, if like one dies or something, do they have to replace one, or can he get by with 11?
Ah, of course you're going to have to, right? No,
it's not like
got
a
to be the 12
football team.
Well,
it's like we got.
It's a committee, though.
You said he got to vote one in.
Well,
someone in, they go, you the newbie.
Well, yeah, but don't forget every single one. I mean, they're not sat there just going, yeah, what's the next report? Yeah, do we all agree? Right, okay.
I bet they do.
Every one of them will have a section of it that they have to look after, like, you know, one on moon dust.
So you're saying, like, you know, there'll be like a transport secretary, and like, you know, that in this respect that we have a government, we have like different posts, like one
exactly.
MP for fucking foreign affairs or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? And it's like that's it. And don't forget the proof's been there that there is something called the Majestic. And the details around it, you know, there's little bits here and there that suggest, you know, these kind of points.
So maybe you could get a job in, you know, in the Majestic. I work for Majestic, but it's like we'll have to bump 2 of them off. Create jobs.
Well, they're probably dirty anyway, so we should bump them all off and, you know, make the citizenship of
the
it.
Majestic 2.
Yeah.
Hashtag
we'll
Majestic
take over.
2.
Yeah. We're like
looking for 10 friends.
Yeah. You want a friend?
We want 10 friends. Join the Majestic 12 with these 10 openings.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But no one knows about us.
Shush.
Yeah, come and join us. Join what? What are you on about?
Shh.
Yeah. Can't say now.
Can't say nothing.
But a lot of this information has come from blackvolt.com. There's some really, really good...
definitely check out the blackvault.com. You can actually see the CIA documents.
Yeah,
we might probably post them on. We'll probably post them on our website as well, to be honest, because we've been doing that a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, not a lot, but you know, okay. When there's an interesting leaked document.
Yes, and there always is. And apparently, the CIA have just let out more documents this week.
Fair enough.
So it's like, yippee, there'll be nothing in there.
Stuff to read, nothing to find.
Nope, not at all.
Loads of redacted.
Another thing just to add in there is Wright-Patterson Air Force Base seems to be the epicenter at the moment. It's not Area 51. It is.
So how does Blue Fly come into this?
Blue Fly comes into this because they basically they needed to get the stuff from the place to the America to actually design and use the technology.
Yeah.
So they were basically like the transport of the force, because it was an operation that they didn't want anyone to know about it. I mean, it's actually the group that every single document, I mean, you'd think it was the Pentagon, but actually every single document has to go through the 4602D Air Intelligence Service Squadron, which is the AISS from Fort... what's that again? Fort Bravo, I think it is. The one you was on about before. And yeah, even Blue Book stuff, everything went through them, and then they passed it on. And a lot of the stuff didn't even go to Blue Book at all. Didn't go to the Pentagon, didn't go to the President, didn't go to anywhere else.
It's like, they've got all these documents and all this evidence that actually points to the it being, life outside of planet Earth. And, when you say, can we have a bit of fucking, disclosure? Can you tell us what's going on? What they offer up in respect to, their evaluation of a number of grainy, really shoddily captured, videos that are
Yeah, there
I
are
mean, they
more
see
better deals than
something
that.
potentially, but there's a lot better evidence that it's in their possession.
Yeah.
That they could say, well, can we have a report on that stuff, please?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how far the Freedom of Information Act goes, where in the sense of trying to get this stuff released, but
we'll soon find that out next week with Clifford.
Well, there you go. We'll see what happens, because Clifford was a little fucking
demon. Yeah,
he was a
little gem who actually pushed
data sniffer.
Yeah.
He pushed whistleblower.
Yeah. In the perfect sense, actually, because he kept pushing and pushing, but
he had a whistle. he always carried a whistle. Well, we'll find out a bit about Clifford next week.
We will.
Interesting stuff. If you've got any comments or queries, about today's episode, make sure you drop us a comment or an email.
Yeah, because when we were looking into this, there was not really a lot on.
It's hard to find
Blue Fly.
about Blue Fly
and
that was about moon
one.
dust, right?
Yeah.
So if you Google it, right, and you find a Wikipedia page, it literally gives you a paragraph, of information, and then says, this is linked to Project Blue Fly. Yeah. Then you click the link to Blue Fly, and it's the same paragraph saying this is linked to Project Moon Dust. And it's like, right,
Roundtree
okay.
or something.
So there was a lot of kind of
switcheroo,
crappy classified files to go through to get some of this information. Do shout out to what was it, Mysterious Universe as well, which is a good website for finding kind of information out. But interesting stuff.
It is.
Like I say, if you've got any comments about anything,
tell us where you stand on where you think if we're actually if it is a conspiracy or is it
I know there's a lot
of
people who listen will say, because we'll get a few comments. Brian will probably send us a comment because he totally believes they are hiding something. And if let us know your thoughts on it. What's coming up in the show?
What's coming up in the show?
Yeah.
It's going to be the news.
Is it really?
It is.
Oh, we best get on with it then. Well, it's the news! Yeah, we've scoured the World Wide Web, up and down, left and right, up in the clouds.
Out.
The clouds above and the clouds below to try and find you the best news that doesn't blow. Hey, I'm a poet. And we found loads of news this week. Loads of stuff about, there's a lot of NASA stuff. So we'll get into that shortly. But finding, I love me animal stories, me. Do you know what? I think, animal stories, they used to put those animal stories at the end of the news, as a bit of a kind of cheer you up.
Doing that, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I just think that should be the news. I want to hear good stories and stuff, that's going to cheer me up.
We don't want it all bad, do we? But the terrible shock is that...
some animal stories aren't all that cute, to be honest.
Well,
this is a story I found about a pet dog.
Oh, right.
Dog in quotation, in air quotations.
Yeah.
So this is the family pet that had basically been annoying neighbours by killing and eating ducks, chickens. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the greatest pet to have, is it?
Oh.
And it's turned out it wasn't a dog after all.
It wasn't?
It was a fox.
Hold on. You can tell the difference between a dog and a fox.
They bought it as a newborn pup, from a small shop in Peru. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So believing it was a young dog, the animal which they called Run Run, right, ended up growing up in the neighbourhood, but there was no signs of it being aggressive or anything like that. But then obviously Run Run started showing a bit of taste for chicken and duck, right? Run Run showed real passion for chasing and killing ducks. It was in his nature, basically.
Like an expert.
Yeah, right. And obviously with the neighbours being so annoyed.
Yeah, which it would
obviously,
be. You're taking me chickens and me ducks.
Well, it's gone. What's happened now is Run Run is on the run.
No, so run.
Yeah, he's on the run.
He's a runner.
We call it Run.
But it's a lazy bastard, isn't it?
It's gone anyway. Basically, they're looking for it. So family pet. So the animal is left home, It's done one from Peru.
It's been kicked out.
And its owners have, basically I think they want to find it, but obviously it's being pursued by ecological police and wildlife officials.
What are they going to do when they find it? What are they going to hide it away in the bushes?
They're going to catch.
Pass? Well, yeah, they've got catch.
Going to catch, kill.
Yeah, by catch, and the catch might catch, run.
Run.
Run, go and catch.
It just sounds like a film in making that.
Hey, yeah.
But obviously, if they do catch Run, yeah. Another story I found was a dog's TV channel. Yeah, even though Run-Run's not even a dog, he's a fox.
Yeah,
but he might enjoy it because he's been brought up like a
dog.
fucking dog.
Yeah.
So this is a TV channel for your dog. Yeah, believe it or not, that is supposed to help with stress and behavioural problems.
Yep, anxiety for the pets.
I could do with that for a cat's. Has it got a cat channel?
It probably has,
it's a dog
with
TV.
The amount of people with cats.
Has been developed following studies into animal psychology, and they basically feel like it's a good move. Obviously, it brightens the mood.
It does.
Helps them feel more stimulated. Everyone leaves the TV on and the
I was
radio
just about
on
to
for
say,
the dog.
Yeah.
But it's like, are they watching stuff that's interesting to them?
Yeah,
you stick a bit
sneaky peek.
You stick a bit of I don't know.
If you stick a dog on there, the dog will watch it. 9 times out of 10, the dog will go, "What's that? That's in my territory. Get out
it's like cats. They see a fish or a bird. It's just the movement that they respond to.
Yeah, a bit of wind and your cat go.
So she's like that whole curiosity killed the cat sort of thing. She's absolutely. Also in the sense that do you know the word when people go, "You're a pussy." Yeah. That's the definition.
Pussy. Hard pussy, but he's a hard pussy cat.
Wow. I've seen braver. I don't know.
Dinosaurs.
I've seen braver anything than you. So Dog TV, I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, I've actually seen it.
Come on, explain. Tell me what was on Dog TV. What was the schedule like?
Right.
We've the new fall lineup at 9 Bones.
Well, basically, there was a pen with
the dog whisperer at 11.
About 11 puppies, 10 or 11 puppies, and they were just all with the toys, and that some of them were sleeping. The other ones were like jumping on each other's heads.
So basically, YouTube then.
Yeah, well, basically, it's going to be.
Because that's the type of shit that that's the sort of thing that I'd watch just for relaxing myself. Never mind the dog.
Yeah, well, yeah. I wonder if there have adverts of food. They'll be added on later on in years to come.
What, like get denture sticks or
exactly.
Fucking
marrowbone.
Ooh, with marrowbone jelly.
Well, that's it,
Crufts is like the the live stream event for like the Olympics in dogs.
What about fields and that? They used to do that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the schedule must be amazing. At 11, one man and his dog, or one dog and his man.
Yeah, that's it, man. Farmer, come back.
Right, fair enough. Well, moving away from the dogs, have you got anything? I've got more animal stories coming up, but
You have?
Of course I have.
I've got congratulations to Indian farmers. They've been having a really well of a time going against the government for the last year because private companies want to basically buy the farms and, produce their own shit and charge. But the Indian farmers have been having issues for years, but they're the most who will vote for the latest Prime Minister. So there's an election next year.
So they've got the say.
So I think they've done, so I think what they've done is gone, right, well, you private corporations
have to back up. Do you know what? For
some
some reason, I kind of pictured all these Indian farmers talking with a West Country accent.
Oh, no.
Because that's just what farmers sound like to me.
Hello. English farmers.
Just combine harvesting.
Oh, yeah. But I think all farmers are getting...
The farmers getting my land.
All farmers around the world have been getting it for years.
It's true. Agriculture, has...
getting it hard.
Gets it really... they do all the work, and then
keep us alive.
Keep us alive, and then they're expected to go... oh yeah, I'll sell you all these sacks of whatever for the low price of nothing.
Yeah, and it's only because these big corporations. But then again, we would have to pay more on what we
but
then we would watch what we pay for.
The problem being is like it'll come to the point where if it hasn't happened already, where these supermarket chains or the companies that own these supermarket chains will just go, what, you won't sell us your milk that cheap? We'll just let you run out of business, and then we'll buy your farm and open an Asda, Morrison's, whatever farm, and produce our own milk. And it's probably what they do, and the reason why they're able to sell
mass amount of milk.
It's the quantity that each supermarket go through. I mean, it does make you think, and I do drink a lot of coffee with milk in.
Just
and I think
milk,
wow,
AP, the farmer's getting for
how
that bottle
much
of milk.
does but this is the thing, you see it on chocolate bars where it's like, the people who pick these cocoa beans are getting a fair wage. Well, you don't see it on milk, where it's like, the guy who produced this milk is actually able to feed his family. Nice one.
Well, that's it. I think a lot more people should go back into that kind of thing.
Buying local,
the farm.
Going to the farm. But then he's just got a queue of like pure people. I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't mind.
Not everyone, but we need more help.
If everyone in town just, I mean, this is the thing about everyone goes on about
the city communities.
About kind of what's the word? Capitalism.
Yeah.
Now, to the extent of greed, I agree it's bad. But to an extent, capitalism is a necessity, mate. It's like if you'd be moaning if you went to fucking Co-op and there was no milk on the shelves, because obviously that takes, capitalism to bring that milk.
Machinery, the actual feed, the place for it to sleep.
There's an infrastructure there, and it's like supply chains, and like
markets have got billions extra a year.
Trade negotiations and all this shit that goes along with it. But it means that parts of the country where there is no cheese producers get cheese. And they get milk, and they get bread, you know what I mean? Whereas, like, other richer parts of the country or other parts of the world that don't have it can have that or taste a bit of fucking German sausage or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
If the quality of the food is shit, go and get it from, the next farmer.
If that means I can have, like, Belgian waffles, and I live in Manchester, UK,
but nowadays,
then sweet.
You just all need is the material to do it, and,
But when it comes down to greed and, like, capitalism to kind of grow an ever growing pile of money, then that's just ridiculous.
You can only grow to a certain extent, and then you collapse. Doesn't matter how far you go up, you will collapse eventually.
Well, they don't, do they?
Well, because they get propped up by us, by paying the government, and the government going, here's a slice of pie.
Well,
you know what I mean? But unfortunately, the farmers aren't getting that slice of pie. They're getting the kick in the nuts.
So support local businesses, because that's the message. Take home, one of. Because obviously, support the agriculture industries around the world who deliver the goods you need.
You need to do what these Indian farmers done, and they actually fought, and they fought for it a whole year. I think it might have even been further than that, and it was against the corporations, basically. Right, but they've got a lucky break, I think, but I think this will come back up again in years to come.
Well, I like I said, I won't disappoint. It's kind of linked with your story, because it's cows related.
Yes. Well,
cows
we do
are
like
very
a bit
sacred
of a cow.
in India.
Yeah.
But this one escaped the ranch. Headed to a resort.
On holiday?
Got stuck on a water slide.
Oh, it was on an holiday.
It was trying to. Well, it sounds like it had a bit of a plan. To be honest,
either that or he wants to be a fish.
God knows, but like this, basically, it's a story that's hit the web. It got quite far up the water slide, to be honest.
See? Oh Jesus!
That's amazing. I mean, did it climb up the ramp and then, go down the slide for?
Yeah, it must come back down. Whee!
Something going on here, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you know when you're trying to scroll down a tab?
Yeah.
And it just keeps jumping about.
Yeah, it's a pain in the
bum. Must have too many tabs open, I think.
It could be. It could be.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Anything else you've seen?
Talking about cows. Have you seen them cows
Talking about cows.
with a hole in them?
No.
Where
is this some sort of Damien
this
Hirst
is apparently
sort
it
of
doesn't
like art installation where chop a cow in half or
No, this is a study to do with cows breathing out too much carbon dioxide.
Right.
There's a study going on where they've actually got literally a hole in a cow with like a rubber thing round it, so they can put their arm in, have a little wiggle round, give it, see what feeds good enough.
Yeah, that's the bumhole. That's how they get in.
No, this is on the side of the cow.
No, there's already a hole. There's already an entrance there. Do you know?
Right behind the ribs.
Stick a hole in it.
Yeah,
it's like a fucking polo.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And
I can't believe you're telling me it. What the hell?
This is one of the studies I've seen.
Stop genetically modifying things.
Well, they're not.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it's because they want to find out the best process to stop the cow from actually
I saw this video recently,
Yeah.
right, and it was the 10 most biggest fish ever caught, right?
Oh, right.
And one of the fish,
tiddler,
was caught off the coast of Russia. And when they caught it, it was like one of the biggest fish ever caught, right?
Yeah.
And when they were weighing it, the Russian government turned up and said, we'll take that. Apparently it was something to do with a genetics experiment.
That went right or wrong?
Don't know. Yeah, well,
that's a question, actually.
Confiscated the fish. Yeah, what were they trying to fucking create?
Sushi.
The Kraken?
Sushi. Big sushi
really
party.
Big sushi bar.
yeah. There was a big party going on later on.
Yo Sushi.
Yeah, feed it to
Yo
the
Sushi's
guests.
probably not involved, but, but yeah. I thought, when it comes to genetically modified things, it's like, you don't know what you're getting into, and especially if that ended up in the ocean.
Ah, well, yeah, but...
What else have they let loose?
Well, we only just found out a couple of weeks ago about how much shit is being poured into the ocean, and right near where we've got beaches. And it's like, what the hell is going on there? They've been doing it for years.
You see, when... of course they have, and we've been seeing it for years. Like plastic islands and stuff like that.
No,
and like
I mean
literally go streams of plastic.
I mean like sewage. I mean, there's sewage pipes coming from British lands going out about 3-4 miles and then letting all the shit out.
What, from Britain?
Yeah, and there's is there 124 or something like that? There's loads of.
Do you know what? I kind of felt responsible then because I've added to that.
Yeah, so have I.
That's
I
what
needed
I mean.
that shit, though.
I totally did.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? My hands were tied in that respect. It's like I needed it.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, but knowing that's where it's ending up, kind of make.
Well, they've only just been caught out, and we're going to pay for it.
I try to live my life with a zero effect.
Yeah.
Do you know, ride a bike, all that stuff.
But when you promise that effect, whatever you're going to waste, you're going to send to him, is going to be, cleaned up, sorted out, and
you've put me in a position now.
Yeah. So when am I next going to have me paid?
Oh, now I've just got to go up and clean it up. That's how I feel,
But
But
you're gonna have to do it on the floor.
So what are they doing about it? I mean, if you're gonna go green, you can't be doing stuff like that. You need to kind of work out a way to use that or redirect it or something.
I think they've had a little fine.
Or would they argue that it's not?
They're saying the infrastructure needs building up, but they've been paying
I'd say if it was just
years.
natural waste, then potentially that could be fine. Yeah, like it's just going to go back into the ecosystem, like fertilizer or whatever. But it's the stuff we flush down the loo.
Yeah,
it's the alcohol sick and the
tablets that you have in your piss.
Exactly, or anything plastic earbuds.
Yeah.
Even. Wipes. Do you know them wipes?
Nappies,
wipes are probably the worst thing.
To shove down the toilet.
People throw down the toilet.
Yeah.
And we have things. I don't know if they're common in other parts of the world, but what they call fatbergs.
Yes.
That block up the sewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot built up out of wipes.
Nasty.
Yeah. Nasty. I mean, it's a job someone's
got to do that job, but it's a stinky job, and hopefully they're getting paid, but probably not paid well.
Talking about fatbergs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, doctors in Brazil are warning of butt lifts.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a new craze in terms of getting
into
plastic
shape.
surgery, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or tummy tuck. Getting work done.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
So this is a butt lift. So. I mean, I want to be like Nicki Minaj.
This is where it comes from, yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
a Nicki Minaj bum.
Yeah, I want a big bum.
I like I like little and not big bums.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. I'm saying.
Why, don't go in for surgery.
Yeah.
I like you all just the way you are.
Where the chances you could like seriously hurt yourself, it's costly.
Weird.
Yeah, and it's like,
is that gonna be? Are you gonna want that in 10 years? It's like getting a tattoo, isn't it?
Well, yeah. What's it going to be like in 10 years? You might have to change it in 10 years.
What they're saying is, a lot of people are going abroad to get these butt lift injections and all the rest of it. Doctors are warning. The risk of the Brazilian butt lift, one of the most popular cosmetic surgeries today.
Jesus.
The BBL. Can lead to death.
Big, beautiful woman.
If fat is injected improperly into the patient's butt, a lot of the chop shops that are doing it are basically injecting fat in the wrong place, and it can get into your artery. It's basically near a main artery.
Yeah,
right?
so you should.
So if it gets into the main artery, this fat, then it can block your arteries and obviously bring on heart attacks.
Yeah, because you're adding tons of fat that's not necessarily needs to be there, and it won't have time to break down either.
So I mean, right? Do you know what makes me laugh? Do you know like when people were getting the lip collagen things? Yeah, and there was so many horror stories and pictures of it going wrong.
Yeah, even celebrities. Yeah,
but
man.
People still went out and did it. But
that's the same with the injection.
I don't
to get rid of
necessarily
your
think
frown.
enlarging anything's like going to lead to.
Let me get rid of my frown. I'll put some poison in my head. And I won't be able to smile or do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's poison.
I think
you
I could do with a
realise
bit
this,
of
don't
that.
you? Yeah.
So
and realistically, because it's only been in about 20, 30 years, we still don't know the long-term effects of it. We know the short terms and what happens when it goes wrong, but if you have far too much of it, and what's going to, your unborn child. Will it throw over to that?
Just look at anybody who had lots of plastic surgery around like the 80s and 90s, and look at them now. They all look a bit like like spitting image puppets. So you just got to think, well, that's and they can't. But it's got a lot better now. Well, has it? Well,
has it? Yeah. No.
Be happy with who you are. Yeah. The message, take home message. That's it. Be comfortable who you are. Yeah. And if you've not got a Nicki Minaj bum, no big whoop. Yeah. Because somebody out there who'll love you for having the butt you got.
Yeah. So, exactly.
There you go. It's almost Christmas.
Oh no,
motherfucker!
I know.
Are we cancelling it again?
Halloween.
We cancelled it last year here in the UK. So I mean, is it going to be a case of that we might cancel it again?
It is in Germany and France
year?
This year. It's been cancelled, and no doubt, I think there's going to be a few more places, and I believe, I think we will be cancelling ours. I think they'll end up turning around.
Personally cancelled,
even though the WHO, the World Health Organization, has turned around and said to the countries, "Why are you doing it?" Because
I don't buy this.
It doesn't. It will not help.
You're saying that the WHO have said that lockdowns don't help.
Yeah, this is what they are coming out and saying now. And
well, no, I mean,
also
in terms
destroys
of,
the economy.
I know that's what it does.
Yeah.
I mean, but this is the thing. It's like I don't think any death's acceptable.
No.
Yeah. And when you're kind of putting out acceptable death levels just to save the economy, then that's not a good move.
I mean,
turning around and saying that lockdowns didn't make a difference was bullshit, because you saw the difference in the amounts of people contracting it.
Yeah.
Right. The reason why the UK got rife in the first instance was because it was coming in from not China, but from Italy, from Spain, from France, from Germany, right? All countries that we are now open to, right? Europe is having issues where they can say, well, how it was put in the news, the storm clouds are gathering over Europe, and will we see it? Well, if you've got the borders open, if countries aren't in lockdown, if these new strains that this so-called vaccine doesn't fucking work with. So
well, that's a funny one.
a lot of different factors to consider there, Boris, old mate.
Yeah, and a funny thing as well. Africa has not had a lot of the injections yet. They haven't been given the material that they was told they were going to get. And do you know?
Their counts down.
Their counts. There's about 35. There's about 35 per day, and that's in all of Africa. It's not done. It's like hardly touched.
Well,
and yet, if you're an African American
really,
or an African or from Asia or something, the doctors over here were saying you're more likely to get it, and you're more likely to get more damage because of DNA crossover from because you're originally from Africa. And it was like, what the fuck? So we're getting information that's stating from the West.
The thing is, I think, but it's all propaganda. Nobody wants to take responsibility for what's happened.
Yeah.
You start hearing other, cross propaganda that, the other countries were involved and all the rest of it.
We just need the facts and the figures. That is it. We don't.
I think
need
we're all sick of hearing it.
We're
all sick of hearing it. We just want the truth, why it's happened, when it's going to be over, when you're going to bring in something that is actually going to solve the problem. Well, without having to get 20 boosters.
Well, talking of that, there's been
I was talking about Christmas.
You were actually, yeah.
But, crack on. I'll get into this.
You will get into this. It's just because this is sort of connected to it.
Right, go on.
Basically, 2 years ago, there's a place in two places in Russia that hold the smallpox, right? One of them 2 years ago set on fire. There was a lot of explosions and stuff that happening. Now there's reports at the minute.
Oh, don't tell me that they're gonna say that smallpox is coming back.
No, it's actually called monkeypox.
Monkeypox.
Yeah. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of the Western nations, or the ones with more clout, are preparing for it. And it's a case of, why are you preparing for something?
What are they doing in preparation for monkeypox?
Vaccines. There's loads of vaccines being sent out around the world.
But at least they were, no offence, but at least it sounds like they've got a vaccine going into it rather than a year late.
There's billions being put into
fucking monkeypox.
Securing
taking the piss.
Yeah. Now it may be just in case. It probably may be just in case, but because of the pandemic that we've already had in that, I want to warn.
So why is this any different from chickenpox? And if chickenpox is one
smallpox?
of those... Well, smallpox.
Yeah, it's from smallpox, and we eradicated it in the 80s.
Yeah, but we're all immune. We all get dosed for that stuff, don't we, when we're kids?
Yeah, but you can still die from it. It's a vicious.
Well, like chickenpox in adults, or the measles. I forget which one it is. Is shingles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, which can be fatal to adults. Yeah, right. Obviously, is that not part of it? Is that because that attacks your immune system?
No, but just in the family of the pox.
It attacks your sort of nervous system, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be a part of the pox. So obviously we have a cure for the small,
the small, the large, and the chicken. Yeah, but we don't have the monkeypox nailed down.
Yeah, because don't forget, a quarter of your body is full of bacteria and stuff like that. And there's a lot of good ones out there, but there are these vicious ones that come out.
You sound like a Yakult commercial. It's like, there's plenty of good bacteria.
Well, there is.
But you want to watch out for that bad.
Yeah. But so
I know I'm having a joke, but monkeypox sounds pretty fucking random.
Yeah, vicious. But hopefully it's going to be contained.
Well, let's hope you don't get any of that.
Yeah. If you heard anything,
going back to the Christmas story that I was talking about a minute ago. If you're in the States, you can actually. I mean, I used to love this about films growing up, Christmas movies, where they'd go and cut down their own Christmas tree.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, from like the forest or whatever.
Yeah.
In fact, doesn't the Griswolds do that in National Lampoons?
I believe they do.
And there's a chipmunk
squirrel
or a
or
squirrel
something
in
in
it.
there,
Yeah, right. Yeah. So you want to watch out for that because obviously you don't want anything
Birds'
in
nests
your
and
Christmas tree.
Snakes in the trees.
But is it National Forest in the United States?
Yeah.
You can go now and cut down your own tree for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Certain parks you do need permits, but a permit will cost you about $10. And that gives you, I think, where was it? We were talking about California.
Yeah.
Basically, you can cut down 2 trees with a permit of $10.
Hey, that sounds
So
like
it's
a
fucking bargain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get your money back if you do it for your neighbour.
If you're a school. Yeah, and you're trying to, you've got a budget, but you want a big tree and you want, a big celebration or a township or something. That's a really good idea, because you could do go down, pay your permit for $10. I mean, you're probably the guy giving the permits if you're the town guy.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean?
But you got to make sure that that there's other trees replanted.
Well,
afterwards.
it's actually good for the culling. Apparently, they're allowed to cut so many trees down.
Yeah.
But you can go down and cut your own
there'd have to
tree
be a limit. Yeah.
From National Forest. That's why I think they have a limit of two per permit.
Yeah, because we were talking before, weren't we, about how those who turn around and say, look after, your trees and stuff like that, but then go into a supermarket and go, can I have a bottle of milk? There's no milk. I'm going to kick off because there's no milk. Because they're looking at it.
They panic by toilet roll.
Yeah.
the tree guys, they panic by toilet roll. That's what happens.
And they think nature's there for everyone and everything, and it's just
makes me laugh.
Keeps going.
Here's one for you. Do you know? And I just thought of this. Yeah. So you could probably it could be seen as not very good, but these Insulate Britain people.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah. They're so eco-friendly. Yeah. They're gluing themselves to police cars with a glue tested on animals, gorilla glue.
Oh,
no.
Ding.
I don't know if that worked.
No, it didn't. I didn't hear that.
Ah, well. Yeah. Press the button. It didn't seem to do anything.
Yeah. Oh, well,
anyway.
Next time.
So, yeah, I said to see this story. Boom, 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 boom. My internet seems to be really laggy here today. It does, doesn't it? Right, so I'm not sure why my right. So the story is, there's a guy who'd been charged, caught by the police, for his involvement in a scam. Right.
Oh, right, okay.
He scammed a woman out of loads of money. Yeah, right. And I'm trying to get the exact amount, but me browser's playing
something like 80 grand.
$80,000. Yeah. In a scam, he was able to cheat a woman out of more than $80,000.
Yeah.
He missed his recent court appearance. Yeah. And when they asked why, his defense attorney said it was impossible for him to attend because he's been dead for months.
What?
Well, Johnny Massa, the attorney, told the state attorney in June that he'd received a death certificate saying that his client had died whilst away in the Dominican Republic of Congo.
Oh, I smell a fish there.
Yeah, man. The guy's probably off, chilling with
Tupac and Biggie, having a split between them.
Seriously. So, I mean, it just made me laugh. Why do they think that he is actually dead? I think they need to get, an investigation in on this one.
Let me see the body.
Was the death certificate, authenticated?
Well, in a funny kind of way.
Saying, me nephew or my son or whatever was fucking accused of this crime, and you get him off to Spain, and it's nah, he died.
Yeah. He's gone. Here's a death certificate. I made it up on my computer last week.
Yeah. So let us know what you think of that.
Yeah, that's a bit. It's a bit dodgy. Yeah, I'd do more investigation into that one.
I've got another story which is a bit dodgy, but have you seen anything before we get into NASA news?
I have this missing Chinese number 1 seed.
Pardon?
A tennis player from China went disappearing.
Yeah.
She accused one of her coaches of basically abusing her. And
so
the very
sexual
next
misconduct.
Yeah, so very next day she disappeared. No one knew where she was even.
Well, I'll tell you where she is. He's done something there. His first fucking place I'd go, I'm sorry.
But even the tennis associations and stuff
I wouldn't
like
be going
that,
to the tennis association. Did they ask him as he had previous?
Famous tennis players have been coming up on TV and going like, "Yeah, we want to know where she is. Like, we have had no contact. We want to see if she's okay and that, because she's just disappeared." And
so have they questioned this guy?
Well, she's texted through a company saying, I think through the tennis association in China, saying that she's all right. She's just sitting at home and chilling out at home. But the way it was wrote, even a British association was going like, "That's a bit wrong. That doesn't look right." So today,
maybe she is.
There's just been a video with a coach and a teammate having dinner and all that. But even then, the associations are not believing it, and neither are the tennis players, because it's a bit funny, because she's also turned around and said, "No, what I said there, I made it up," and stuff like that. I think she's been nobbled.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. How do you mean nobbled?
Nobbled as in she's had to say...
retract statements and all the rest of it.
And
That's
she's
a bit
in trouble.
much.
I think... it wouldn't surprise me if she's been put in jail or home...
put in a cage.
Yeah.
With a towel over it.
It's the way the CCP are. You know what I mean?
No phone for a week.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But, so hopefully she's all right, and there's more to come, I'm presuming, because it's getting a bit more...
Sounds it.
Yeah, it's getting a bit more real.
Right, fair enough.
There's something wrong there.
Well, yeah. That sounds like something to follow. We'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got this last story before we get into NASA news, and it's not much story, but it's a weird one, and I find this really bizarre.
This is nutty, man.
Well, it might have a bit of nut in it.
Hey, yeah.
For all I know.
I never thought.
Yeah. I want to know people's opinions on meat substitutes, like vegan, meat sort of substitutes, right? Because you see these burgers, the Beyond Burger, or I can't believe it's not burger,
sausage.
Or sausages that are plant-based.
Yeah,
these beef patties or burger patties that are plant-based.
Yeah.
There's so many variations of what a meat eater would consider, what looks to be meat.
Yeah.
I understand that it's a protein substitute and it's doing the job of meat. Yeah. But as a vegetarian, as a vegan, I'm interested to know your opinions. On shaping this food to look like meat. Because obviously, is that not off-putting? I found this story which kind of takes it to a whole new level. I mean, obviously, the Beyond Burger, people say it tastes like meat, it's got the same texture as meat, it may as well be meat. So, as a vegan, does that not kind of weird you out? The fact that you're eating something that is essentially meat but isn't. Yeah. So, a California company have made fake chicken. It's got skin and fake bones. And Nestle have invested. Right,
Swoosh will go off. He's
now
not
this
for one of them
looks like a chicken drumstick, and it's plant based.
Yeah,
but it's they've even gone to the realism of putting it a fake skin. And having it on a skewer style bone.
Oh, so it's not a real bone?
No, it'll be a wooden or a plastic sort of kind of bone substitute sort of thing, I suppose.
Nah, I don't get that, because it's like if I made it into a plug, would it work?
Well,
would you buy it?
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's like, because it's recognisable as chicken, and people kind of see it and go, well, that's supposed to taste like chicken.
And then you take a bite and go, oh.
And it tastes like what they make chicken taste like,
chicken.
If they're trying to make it taste authentic, right? And look and smell and feel authentic when it's not, right? Now, Nestle are investing in vegan, plant-based quite heavily, right?
They must have some stupid money to waste.
And they've invested in this company. It's a startup company that are trying to mimic chicken in the most realistic way, right? But big part of the vegetarianism, to me, in my mind, is the fact that you don't want to harm animals. You don't want to eat animals. It disgusts you eating an animal, right?
Yeah.
So it boggles my mind to hear that, vegans are tucking in, vegetarians are tucking into what is essentially looks like a chicken leg or looks like a beef burger or a sausage or whatever. Happily. Yeah.
But if I put a real one in front of you, you'll go, no, I'm saving the planet.
It's like, if we made it look like a car, would you try and drive it?
Yeah, of course it would.
If
it looked like a woman, would you try and ride it?
You had to go
what I mean? Well, me.
But the fact is, it's like, would these products being kind of shaped or like, distinctively looking like something else?
Yeah, this is,
be a turn off even more?
I mean, I'm up for plant-based
It's like
food.
You make them into smiley faces or whatever, and it's like they just look like kiddie food.
Well,
or you
that's
put them into.
That's it. They're doing what you would do if you were a kid. What if a company sells something to a kid? You try and make it
recognisable.
Well, think about it like this: a carrot wasn't yellow. Orange,
was it? Well, no,
they were purple. Same with potatoes.
No, they were orange ones. It was just that there was the most common variety of carrot in the UK. I did my research on this a while ago, but the most common was a purple carrot. Yeah. It was only because orange carrots were deemed more acceptable, or more appealing. Like, an orange carrot. Yeah. So they became more popular, and it phased the purple out. Yeah. There's lots of different varieties of veg that that all share the family that are just no longer kind of in circulation in greengrocers because they're not desirable. They've lost that sort of appeal that nobody buys them anymore or not enough to warrant have them on the supermarket
shelves. Which means they don't grow anymore because some other subject will get...
The National Seed Heritage Libraries do have these seeds and they keep a stock library of all these varieties of carrots and broccolis and all the types of shit. It's really interesting. So, do a bit of homework on it. In fact,
it's good stuff.
I had a chat with one of them at I think it might have been Glastonbury or Leeds Festival, one of the two.
Yeah.
And we were having a chat about kind of like extinct or not extinct, but like not in circulation, if you like, vegetables. And they gave me a load of beans. Yeah, they were giving out beans, but like varieties of beans that they wanted to try and reintroduce as a hearty bean that the nation would enjoy. Do you know what I mean? If they were to be able to grow them more,
product testing,
And I'm pretty sure if you bump into them anywhere at a horticultural event, they'd hook you up with some random beans or whatever they've got. Even drop them an email, I suppose. I don't know. You can tell them we sent you, but I doubt they'll appreciate it.
But there's also a psychological thing around it as well, because if you cover your eyes, and someone spoons something to you, and as you eat it, you will more than likely not guess what that food is.
Well, to be honest, it's like if it's it could have a totally different flavours and all the rest of it that you might not even work out what it is because you've never had it before.
Just even hold your nose, cover your eyes.
What's that one?
And the taste will be totally different to what you.
Oh, of course, if all your senses were.
And all this kind of psychological thing gets worked by companies as well, and we're obviously the test subjects because we obviously go out and buy that stuff. Themselves.
Well, there you go. Have you got anything else you want to add before NASA news?
No, I'm right into the NASA, son.
Well, firstly, in NASA news.
Oh, yes.
Wow, Russia.
Yeah. Oh.
This was a big story this week.
Again, Russia.
Russia's been prominent this week.
Naughty
I'd be
boys.
surprised if we don't get some,
comments.
More like, like downloads.
Well, yeah.
Russia's been a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been considered a bit kind of reckless this week.
When
they launched an attack on their own satellite.
Yep.
reckless ain't the word, because they've endangered a lot of people, including a lot of people here on Earth.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
2 of which were their own cosmonauts, which were in attendance on the ISS.
They were indeed.
Which, again, is a bit of a bizarre move, to be honest. Do you think this was just a flex in terms of flexing their capabilities, showing us what they can do? We can blast a satellite out of the sky.
Yeah, we don't want Project Moon Dust to get hold of it.
Well, the problem being with this is now, I mean, I've talked about like debris in the atmosphere just from stuff we've put out there. Yeah. You've got old satellites and stuff that are cluttering up the place.
Yeah.
What they've done now is by blowing up one of their own satellites, they've now ejected so much debris out into the field,
the orbit,
of the planet, that it's going to make it difficult for
10 years plus
exploration going forward. Yeah. So launches that have been kind of planned.
Yes.
Are they going to be?
There's some important ones coming up soon.
Are they going to have to be scrapped? Are they going to have to work out new flight plans? You've also got satellites that could be damaged. From flying debris that's kind of careering around the planet.
They're like bullets, and there's like thousands of them. You know what I mean? It's not like
not only that. So basically, the inhabitants of the ISS this last couple of days have had to shelter in escape pods. Yeah, just in case they have to blast back down to Earth.
Yeah,
because of bombardment of this stuff. Because it's basically parts of satellite careening towards the ISS
at speeds of like bullets. You know what I mean? Even the little paint chips.
So the article here says earlier this week, astronauts on board the International Space Station rushed to seek shelter and near evacuation as it was caused of the Russian military basically firing a rocket up at a satellite.
Yeah, he was 35 years old, wasn't it? I believe.
It's not the point, really,
well,
is
no,
it?
It's not.
How old it was. I think, it kind of throws a spanner in the works as well.
A massive
spanner, not only that, it kind of, literally every country involved in, a space sort of...
and there's more and more of them.
They're turning... Just go, what the fuck, Russia? Do you know what I mean? What was that about?
There's at least 180 countries that have got some kind of technology to try and get to space.
Russia are actually saying they're denying endangering astronauts on the International Space Station with space junk.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how you can deny it. We didn't fire it. Honest, it wasn't us.
Well, we've seen you know what I mean? We've got satellites as well, you know what I mean? Well, but it just adds to the more shit that's up there that's going to stop us from actually getting further out there. Because imagine a rocket going off and then a couple of them just going by. Just a couple of them, because they're going to separate. And it's mad. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, well, there was, it's interesting, like I say, Russia... they've been coming up quite a lot in the show, but what was I talking about? Like, if they had, they had their own sort of, hidden away space station,
and they have actually got.
But what was I talking about? About the cosmonauts. We did an episode about the 2 missing cosmonauts. What are the chances of they didn't go missing and they were actually on board the secret space station rather than just to kind of cover it? Oh, they went missing. They floated off.
Bit of a good call, because why would you want to leave your own man out there? You know what I mean? You'd somehow try and get them back.
Try and get them back.
Yeah, and it's been a long time. But there's Russia's been doing a lot of. Flights up there and setting up. I mean, they've got their new little orbiter, so they're endangering that as well. And the Chinese, I think they are. And then any more, like you said, any more want to go up there, we need to clean it up before we can get back up there. Build the next station. And that ISS has just been getting from week to week. It's
deteriorating, isn't it? Really,
fast. It's a travesty, man. But hopefully we can get someone up there to get rid of all this trash. I mean, there are countries who are trying to, like Sweden's got a good one with
this is the thing as well, right? I mean, we talk about global warming, right?
We wreck anything we touch by the looks of
think
things.
about it this way, yeah, right? All of a sudden, yeah, this planet's now got a load of reflective dishes orbiting the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, we've seen that sort of, the baddie plan in, movies where they go, right, we're going to aim a big, like, dish in the sky that's going to cut through the earth or whatever, yeah? And it's like, well, we've got all these reflective bits and pieces that are just floating around the planet. Yeah. All reflecting, light.
Reflecting light, yeah. I mean,
yeah, I'm not being funny, but is that not going to add to the temperature maybe a little bit going up?
Yeah, but it'd be the travel, won't it? Of the I still put it down to global dimming because they had the choice in the what was it 2005 I think it was. Either global warming or global dimming. They had to make a choice, and they wanted global warming instead of global dimming. Which, in fairness, we picked the worst of the two, but we don't know what the consequences would have been if we were global dimming. I mean, at the time, Russia in 2001, Russia only had 60% of the sun away from. So they had no light shining. So you're going to expect that after years and years, of getting rid of that global dimming. Yeah. You're gonna get the temperature up, and it will go up. But that's on top of what we've done a little bit, but nature as well. I mean, look how many volcanoes. There's a story going up about. I think there's a lot of
different reasons, really, isn't there?
Yeah.
So
it's not one.
It's not just one thing that we. But this is the thing. Everyone kind of assumes that, and it's a bit of a panic, isn't it? And they assume that by doing these things, by getting our carbon emissions down and all the rest of it, that we can turn back time, and it's not going to be the case. It's going to be a case of living with
we're still going to have all this
the new sort of way nature operates and how the new seasons shape out to be, and maybe it's not going to be as straightforward as winter, spring, summer.
Well, it already isn't, if you think about it.
Fucking, the order. I don't.
We used to have that order, but now it's mix and match. Like you just look out the window, and it's like, oh, it's summertime, right? Sweet, I've got a sunny day.
Well, this is the thing. It's like, I mean, being from Manchester, right. We've been brought up to know that even if it's a sunny day, you put your coat in your bag. Right,
oh,
because by the end of the day, it's going to be raining. You're going to have seen all the weathers, throughout the day. It's usually
rain.
If you're from the States, and I think Seattle has this reputation for being a bit of a rainy city. We're probably like that in the UK. We live with the grey.
Well, I think
that's why there's so many good musicians come from Manchester. I think because we're all sat indoors, learning how to play the guitar. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
So,
that's it.
Yeah.
Fame gets it.
Going back into the UFOs, UFO sightings continue.
Yeah,
I think we reported a couple last week. This is in the US, bright orbs spotted across Arizona.
Nice.
Yeah, dated the 20th. So,
it keeps getting up and up every year, man.
More and more. I'm interested to see what the overall stats are for the year in relation to, UFO sightings, because they did go up in 2021.
That's true.
Conspiracy theorists have long been claiming alien existence on Earth. But according to these conspiracy theorists, unexplained extraterrestrials or UFO sightings that happen in various parts of the globe are clear evidence of alien existence on the planet.
Can we actually say?
Yeah.
Is it a conspiracy theorist now, or is it a conspiracy fact?
Well, it's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy fact that there are UFOs
I don't feel that they need to put theory on the end, because theory implies that it's not.
It might be.
It might not. It's speculation. It's like but.
Like
I think there is clear evidence to suggest that there is summit. Yeah, right. What's real and what's not, what's been fabricated, what's real.
Things are starting to come out.
You need to start kind of clarifying that. But
more clarification, definitely.
If you came out and went, right, all right, then we'll tell you all the things that aren't real. Then that's a different story, isn't it? Because that narrows it down. Then obviously you start going, well, if you're telling me that these aren't real, then you're telling me these ones are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly,
Which is fine. Tell us that.
Yeah, at least if we knew, we can deal with a matter like.
I know, because I mean, like, as some people who kind of take an interest in this stuff, we do a show, based on what the belief is.
Yeah, and what we find out, I mean, we want you to go out and actually look for this information yourself.
Yeah, and you can find out bits that we might not have seen. But the thing is, it's when these theories or when these conspiracies are put forward as a true story, the line starts to blur on what's real and because it's all quite fantastic.
Yeah.
But the idea that we're not alone in this universe or fucking cosmos or whatever is too crazy to think about with the diversity of life that's here on the planet. So even if you look at the sea as a totally different world, which it is, it's got a different atmosphere, it's got a different pressure system.
We know hardly fuck all about it.
We hardly know anything about it, but yet there's still an abundance of life. Yeah, right?
And
so how can we be so naive to think that these other planets aren't similar situations gone on? We've already proven that on one planet, in two different pressure systems, ecosystems, totally different worlds, life's still abundant. So
same in the opposite on like deserts that
this
are
one breathes
really hot.
This one breathes in water.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So methane potential.
Yeah. I mean, little organisms can live. Practically, we find everywhere, and even can be frozen and then come back, have like 5,000 years in the snow, sleep, and it can just wake
like
up
Captain
and just,
America.
Yeah, it's just straight away like born new life to itself.
Well, this one in Arizona, eyewitnesses captured some bizarre UFO footage. Submitted to the Mutual UFO Network known as MUFON. Go over there and check them out.
Keep looking, people. Keep looking, because they're out there, and you will see one if you have a look.
Any NASA news that you've seen this week? I've got two more stories.
When I was saying last week about Jupiter getting hit by a couple of big rocks.
Yeah.
Well, the reason may be is because we are going through a meteor shower at the moment.
Right, okay.
Even
more stuff going up going on.
Yeah.
Flying about. I'm not surprised the ISS folk are a bit kind of shaken.
There's actually a near Earth object going at 149,000 miles an hour or something. Which is going to be close, I believe, this weekend.
Right, coolio.
Yeah, coolio.
I found, like we were talking about, missions being put off, but I'm not sure if this one is going to be put off. But Elon Musk announced on Wednesday that obviously it could be put off based on the recent events.
Wow, yeah.
But he announced on Wednesday that the SpaceX will launch its Starship spaceship into orbit.
It's a big boy, isn't it?
On the 1st of January 2022. Now, this is a big boy, and they said it was going to be a game changer. Yeah. Now, if it can live in the orbit and just circle the Earth, then, that's kind of... but the point being is it can return to Earth.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't need to rely on rockets taking you guys up to the ISS.
Leaving shit behind.
Well, you can bring everything back with you, can't you?
And that's one of SpaceX's protocols. Like, they want to make sure that they don't leave anything up there.
It's too much space junk, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I really think that this could be a game changer on another way as well. And I know we keep talking about the space junk, but it could be.
It's important.
It is.
You're talking about cleaning Earth up. We need to clean up. We need to think about other areas of nature that we've affected. And I don't think you get any more fucking. Into nature.
Yeah. We've only just stepped into space, and we've already made a rubbish pile.
You know what I mean? Everywhere we go, we leave a load of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So I like the fact that Elon Musk and SpaceX have that initiative and have that sort of moral obligation. To do that. So well in.
They've got honor, man. They've got honor.
Honor.
Yeah. Well, they're doing it for
It's like a samurai.
Do the pocket. And
Samurai
to
Musk.
help the humanity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
and that's honourable.
We don't want to be going into space with a load of like debris
Shit
following behind us.
Yeah.
Do you
I
know what
mean, the aliens might trail us and follow us to wherever we are.
Well, this is the thing, because if you think about how much waste, an average human being generates on a monthly basis, right? Yeah. I'm one guy. When I'm running my house, I can generate over the bin's capacity, and I end up popping a couple.
How long in 2 weeks?
More bins every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks. So it's essentially once a month. For your general waste. Yeah. Right. So
and you
overfill that. Yeah. Right.
Shit, what have you been eating?
Whatever I can eat,
mate. Good appetite, mate.
Whatever I can get in my mouth.
Well, yeah.
Like, no, that's just not only like just general waste. It's not always like
packaging. There's a lot of packaging coming these days.
Stuff that gets generally wasted.
Broken.
You want to put in that bin. They don't give you enough space in the bin, and they don't pick it up as often. Right. So if you think about if you're on a Captain Kirk style 5-year mission, and you've got a full ship's complement, how much waste each crew member will create. And I'm not just talking about like edibles or like anything that they're eating or using or products.
It's gonna be an empty ship by the time you get
you're talking about like biological waste as well. Right. Where did he use? What did he do with that? Did they flush that into space?
I would imagine so.
Well, exactly, but that's not an option, really, isn't it?
That shouldn't be an option.
They should be trying to find a way of recycling it.
Yeah, drink your own pee like
it's like what's
in
it?
ISS?
Well, in like what's it? Crichton in Red Dwarf, where it's like the drinking.
The recycler's gone.
It's like urine recycle.
Yeah,
it's like You don't really want that, do you?
No. But, and the food's gone. You got dog food left. That's it.
Well, I lied. It was cat food.
And it's off.
So definitely not leaving junk about is a big issue.
A priority.
I got this one last story before we close up the show. Have you got anything else, NASA news?
I've got one.
You go for it then.
You sure? Well, there is detailed data that has been collected from 1983, which states that it looks like we have another planet in our orbit, in our solar system, which is Planet 9, which the people who turned around
said it didn't exist
and said that Pluto was now a dwarf planet, are the ones who actually had this data that says that we have a ninth planet, which I've always said it's Nibiru.
Nibiru.
That's the one. Nibiru. I haven't said it in a long time.
You don't even know what it's called.
I haven't said it in a long time.
That one, the one, Nemesis. No, Nemesis was the sun, wasn't it?
Yeah, the dark sun. Yeah.
Yeah, because apparently, say we come from a binary star system. Yeah. It's like, well, where's the other star? Yeah. And apparently it is there. It's just behind our sun.
Yeah, because all the planets go through one way of the sun, not the other side or anywhere else. They all lean to the east and the west. There's like nothing there. And it's like, well, that's strange. They should be split up all over the place. It shouldn't be like that, really.
Well, I've just been interested. That's interesting. So you think Nibiru's coming back?
Yes, I think we're.
And now they're acknowledging it as well. We will have to do a recap. We'll do an episode on Planet X.
Yeah, because
we haven't done that for ages.
Yeah.
And I know you like talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, just doing a bit of extra looking into this there, because I wanted to find out if there was any plans to clean up the space junk.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
And I found this story.
Oh right.
So apparently, a gas station in space. Right now, this is plans to make rocket fuel from the junk.
Hey, that's a good idea.
So fair play, right? This is an Australian company joins the global effect to recycle dangerous space debris.
That's good. I like that. Yeah, that's a different way of looking at it.
You see, recycling, keeping clearing it up, And a good use of the resources, I think, to be honest. And I suppose if there's any precious metals up there, they'll probably bring a few of them home as well.
Of course. Again, of course, a little bit of the pocket.
Do you know when you see these sci-fi movies though, and it's always like you see people like humans living up in space, and they're always doing like mining jobs and stuff.
Yeah, I think the first one will be a prison one, to be honest.
Prison?
A
prison in space?
A prison in space.
Why should they... Well, when, like, it costs them how much money to send them up?
Yeah, but it costs us like 35 grand. It'd be more than that. It'd be about 45 grand.
It's still going to cost you that much
year.
as well in space. You still got to feed them and stuff.
But you get them to work. You get them to an asteroid, you know.
Right, you mean like prison
them.
colonies, prison work. That's slavery. You can't do that.
No, it's helping the people back on Earth. And if you don't want to do it, don't be a naughty boy. And it will only be to the term that you get sentenced to.
Still
so
fair
it's
play.
not slavery,
Well,
it's prison.
Well, you are in space when, you know, like no one can hear you scream.
Where are you going to escape to?
I don't know if that's going to be... Well, that's a bonus, but I mean, I don't think it's going to be, you know...
I bet you it's an idea.
I bet it is an idea. So the fucking
Russia or
the despicable
America.
people.
America will be probably doing
the despicable people who will come up with that one, Taylor.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I've just got ideas, man.
I've got ideas.
Copywritten.
Hashtag Taylor's plan for world domination.
Yeah. Well, you need the slaves, don't you?
So, like I say, this is an Australian company that's part of an international effort to recycle dangerous space junk in space.
Yeah.
The orbit, that orbit our planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to get the goods and
Australia.
try and do something with it. So there you go. We'll end on a positive note.
We will, yes.
There you go. And we were so worried.
Yes, we was. There was so many disasters in the in the news, but there was.
I'm so glad I can close that browser as well, because you know it was giving me beef there.
Yeah, and there was also some nice things that was going on.
Stuff,
especially for
animals,
space.
especially with the animals.
Yeah. You always get nice things.
Run, can run. Hopefully they'll never catch you.
Yeah, catch will be on its way.
So we don't want the kitty catcher.
Kitty catcher.
But say a big thank you to our Patreons.
Yes.
You can join the Patreon gang.
You can indeed.
You've got a couple of tiers there that are available to you. You can be an agent, special agent, or be on top secret.
Top.
There's a lot of different, do you know, you get a lot of perks. You can actually, suggest episode topics.
That is true, yeah.
You can chat directly to us.
Yes, you can.
We'll even, have a wake and bake with you if you want. Get on a Skype and chill.
Yeah, well, I'm up for that.
There's a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
But all you've got to do is put your hand in your pocket.
Yeah.
You know, even if you consider it a Christmas tip after a long year.
Oh, and it's been a long year
of entertainment.
It has.
Then you know what to do. Get over there. Get over to the website. You can go onto the website and donate there as well. Lovely. All donations welcome. Alternatively, you can buy merch if you want to get something for your money.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a cool design of me and Taylor being beamed up.
Yeah, as we regularly do.
I'm looking, I think I'm dressed like Han Solo, aren't I? And you're dressed like Captain Kirk.
Yeah,
to show the diversity there. Beam us up. Get a T-shirt of your own. It's available on the website, available on the Facebook, and through TeePublic.
Yes. Or you can buy us a coffee if you wish to do so.
Yeah, man. We're all about
the coffee.
We're all about coffee.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my cup now and it's empty. But
it's going to want me making my brew.
I do need a quick brew before a bail. But it's the end of the show. If you've got any questions for us, any comments, suggestions, you know what to do. You can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. We're on Twitter at NASA_never and on Instagram at neverstraightanswer. Got a load of great photos up there. We always get some good response on Instagram. If you've not joined us on Instagram, get over to Instagram now and join us. We post loads of stuff on there. We also post a load of stuff on Twitter. We will be getting back into the social swing of it on Twitter because, we have a lot of people to follow us who follow us and we follow them, and there's so much to do. But we'll get I've been getting back on it with the Twitter. Just had a lot of stuff going on recently.
Yeah, it's been a
but appreciate that.
Year, man.
Appreciate the patience.
Yes.
But we're on there. We if you message us on any social media, we will get back to you.
Yeah,
we're available on YouTube, where we post audio and sometimes video episodes of the show.
Yeah. I think we might be due a video in the next couple of months.
I think so. Coming up to Christmas,
It
definitely.
is, yeah. You want to see these beautiful faces?
Oh, you do.
Built for radio.
Built for radio. Definitely. Like, what's it? A bit of radio gaga.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you everything's on the website at neverastraightanswer.co.uk, where you can find all downloadable episodes, videos, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much the show.
Yeah, don't forget to tell your friends, family, knock on your next door neighbour, go and tell your boss.
Yeah, if you know somebody who's interested in this sort of stuff, give them a shout.
Yeah,
let them know we're independent. We're not we're not
by any corporation.
We're not Will Smith.
No, we've got no money behind
I don't know. Ron Burgundy, who's got a bajillion followers before he even releases an episode.
Well, yeah, I know, it's mad, man. It's mad.
Yeah, so
it's crazy.
Help us out. Yeah. Right, anyway, that's enough pandering and begging. We'll catch you next time. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
We've been the Never a Straight Answer podcast. We'll catch you up with you soon. Peace.
Out.